Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
You just talked about a 400 to 800% increase in
1 year.
And like when that happens, I feel like a majority of the white collar jobs, it's gonna just disappear.
It's all about just finding ways to make money. Just do it now. Learning is basically free. The AI can teach you for free. I mean, your $20 ChatGPT account could teach you for hours a day. Woo! Welcome back for another incredible episode of Bullish and Beyond.
Let's
we are
go.
bullish about all things stocks, crypto, and life. You know, I can understand it might be hard to be bullish right now. There's a lot of craziness happening in the world. We got the war with Iran. We have oil flying through the roof up to 120. I mean, it's the highest it's been in 4 years. You know, crypto has been cratering. Stocks are taking a massive hit. JT's crypto den is all red. Wow, we have a lot to dig into today, JT.
A lot to dig into. We do. I think
Why are you feeling so red over there?
Well, Bitcoin is down almost 50% from its all-time, actually a little bit more than 50% from its all-time high. We have the price right where it was
should
at
keep
last
holding.
week.
Keep holding?
I think, for sure you keep holding. You go long. Yeah, you don't sell here.
We were just saying before the
you
pod,
buy
do
more.
not sell. When these massive international events happen and the market's being drugged down across the board, it's the worst time to panic sell. It seems like more of a buying opportunity. However, I think the market's probably going to go lower.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot more downside, like broadly. I don't know if crypto it might have another 20 to 30%. Like I could see Bitcoin sitting around in its worst.
30%'s down to 50.
I could see under 50.
Yeah.
I could. Not forever, but I could see us dipping back down to the, 40s. And
What would
30s
cause that?
on
Like an
any given week.
extended war with the Middle East or something?
Well, we dropped 50% from nothing other than liquidity issues and cascading leveraged events. We've found the real market value. So this 126 down to 67, that's literally all of the leverage, all of the bad decisions being flushed out of the market. Nothing happened. Well, that normally comes from a black swan event, but the greed just got too great, right? And now there's looming black swans everywhere. I swear I look up, there's only black swans flying around. I could easily see something sending us lower, because we haven't had anything like that and we're already down 50%.
I would say the same thing's happening in the equities too. I think people are now unlevered. They're not going short necessarily, but they are unwinding that extra, risk that they've had on the table, and kind of rightfully so. Like the world is very volatile right now, and it does seem like a tough time to invest and to know where to invest. Yeah,
it's hard. I mean, when oil goes up like this, a lot of things happen. First and foremost, you're going to have the entire supply chain increase in costs, which can affect even the most safe businesses, even like the consumer product goods, Gillette and all those guys that Warren Buffett invests in. If oil is this high, those logistics companies are going to
People don't realize how much is in the trucking. So much oil just goes straight to the trucking industry.
Or
Tesla Semi coming out. What's going to happen in the future when Tesla Semi takes over the roads and we got more EVs out there? This will affect us, less. I saw a friend of mine kind of like bragging that he had all EV household, and he wasn't paying for the oil. But the thing he missed is exactly what you said: is the outsized transportation costs and every other consumer discretionary product. And it's the planes too. Like if you want to fly somewhere, I mean, travel could be insanely affected. I think airline prices are already going up, but they're obviously adjusting for that near-term volatility. But if it stays long-term, that's where it's going to hit. Like if oil is back to normal in 3 months, well then, airlines don't really care. They got futures on the table to protect them anyways. But by the time summer hits, if it's still up there, that's going to create some chaos in the travel market.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're fixed contracts, 60, 90, maybe 120 days.
Yeah.
Like they don't go that far out because of how volatile
Right.
oil actually is, So they have reserves. They're, I guess, a corporate equivalent of reserves, absolutely, in those future contracts. But ultimately, you're going to see anything that relies heavily on oil to really struggle here. I would even go as far to say for the mid-sized data center build-out people that don't have fixed pricing, with their contractors, that don't move the world with their voice.
Yep.
I think they're going to really get squeezed, and we could see some consolidation there, projects being taken over by bigger
interesting
fish. I could see a compression in that market because construction can go up 10, 15, 20, 30%. You got to use diesel to build all of that stuff. That's nothing but, and fuel's a big part of running those machines. It just is. They eat fuel.
Oh, they run 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they just.
And you're talking mid-market. I think the smaller players, like almost the mom and pop shops, like those people,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to eat it or pass it on. And it's like a restaurant that's a, single owner chef. When those food costs go up by 20, 30%, they almost you can't even really pass that on to the consumer. They just, kind of refuse. So those are the businesses that end up like closing, during COVID or, now when they have this, kind of massive supply chain disruption.
Yeah, 100%, and regardless of, I guess, why oil got this high back in 2008, it's the same second order consequences, right? Like that oil spike amidst everything else that was going on flushed out all of the bad stuff in that economy because the market can only take so much pain. When you start seeing these genuine costs increase, a few things happen. Consumers' appetite for consumerism is decimated. They basically have market, participation attrition.
The consumer's still been so strong, but those readings are in the past. So let's see what happens next month now. I could see some big effect here.
Right. And, I watch macro all the time. The credit card debt is what really concerns me. We've almost, from, I think it was June of 25 to present day, we've added almost 200 billion in credit card debt as a nation.
Wow.
820 to 986.
That
tells me the consumer, it's a lot. The consumers are really tight already. And if you increase their, the price to fill up the tank of gas, in addition to these transportation costs going up 5, 10, 15, 20% in some sectors, going directly to the consumer in the form of grocery bills and everything else, you could start seeing a just lackluster economy from a spending perspective, which would affect the market absolutely. Sales would be down, things like that. And then you also have these jobs coming out, much worse than expected, almost 40,000 jobs less. I'm sorry, more.
Yeah.
40,000 more jobs.
There was a lot more jobs lost than people thought. I think we're supposed to add 55,000 and we lost 20 or 30,000, something like that. So it's quite a swing. So, I mean, we're always talking about the Fed and what their next action is going to be. So now they're dealing with potential inflation, or actually probably is more inflation technically happening with oil and stuff like that, at least in that sector, and everything else that rubs off on. And then you have the consumer spending. We'll have to see what happens there. Jobs are, falling. So it seems like we got a better chance of being a cut now on this next round, but it makes it a little bit more murky.
I agree. I'm not afraid to have cash right now. I mean, I think we're going to have some great opportunities. Personally, I have not deployed any money yet. I do think we have more downside. So
you're like Berkshire, just sitting on it.
Just waiting. Yeah. Just waiting for the I feel like we got more room down. I mean, the stock market is what, 1-2 points off all-time highs?
It's still so close to highs. Not 2 points anymore. It's come down a couple percent more last week, but like within 5% of the all-time high. Like we're still like right there. Yeah. And to your point, I mean, some of the smartest people in the world, the guy running Berkshire Berkshire Hathaway now, the new CEO Abel, like he just came out with his first shareholder letter this last week. After he took the reins from Warren Buffett, and people were really questioning him what he's going to do with his cash pile. It's up to like 370 billion now or something like that. I mean, you can buy out major Fortune 500 companies in totality with this kind of cash. Like, we're talking big numbers here. So like, yeah, how do you deploy that? He says he's not going to do a dividend. He still thinks he can generate more returns than dividend can do. But frankly, if you're not going to use it, I mean, they sold off half of their Apple position, unfortunately for those shareholders, because Apple's up 40% since they sold it. And those dividends that they were getting were insane. He was the largest dividend collector of Apple in the world. They're getting like 12 billion a quarter or something. I mean, it was nuts. Absolutely nuts.
It's insane. I tell you what I think he does. He probably plays the biggest private equity game in existence. I bet something in the economy. I mean, Buffett basically has this indicator that runs Berkshire, and it's about valuations and their increase relative to our GDP. So in this current state, that has not come down. So they're probably going to sit until that indicator
He's waiting for that black swan
goes.
event.
Yeah,
when the world hits the fan and he's got the most cash, time to deploy.
He's going to buy up every valuable company trading at a 70% discount. I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to sweep the market. Why wouldn't he? They did that with trains. A lot of people forget that back in 08, 09, everyone's looking at real estate. They ended up buying almost 60% of the railroads in America.
Wow.
And now, like that has paid dividends because they were able to get it at a massive discount.
So yeah, it was super distressed, but I mean, railroads keep operating. I mean, it's almost surprising, but it's still cheaper to run the railroad than it is to ship it. So that's what they keep doing. Very interesting. One thing I watched a really cool video on America the other day, and it showed kind of long term why we're winning in so many areas like trade and wealth and stuff like that. And one of the keys was we have both of our oceans on the side, and then we have these waterways that the Mississippi and it branches off to Ohio and stuff like that, and the Great Lakes. So you can boat around the entire place, but then connecting those with the trains. That's what really made America take off. So you can get goods through America. It's so much cheaper and around America. And they were saying that was one of the game changers too, why we built the wealth. So it makes sense that, Buffett and his team would grab on to, one of the largest industries, moving goods around the country here.
Yeah.
Very, very smart play.
It is smart. They love acyclical businesses, right? Goods need to get somewhere regardless.
Doesn't stop.
And yeah, it never stops. And it actually, that point makes me think of an adage, if you will, about humans and really like what has gotten us to this point of evolution. It boils down to just a few variables, one of which is coordination. And if you go look at the countries that struggle to coordinate, like in the Middle East with this uninhabitable terrain, right? There's no waterways, there's mountainous regions. Africa has a bunch of areas like this. You can't coordinate through the
super hard to develop and collect.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I've never really thought of geography that way, but it is.
Our geography is key.
Yeah, it really is. Currency is another form of coordination. At a certain point, a economy can't bring 100 sheep to town to trade for a house, right? Or any kind of bartering system has its limits, right? Especially if your wealth is 100 acres. Like, how do you bring that to auction?
I don't want to barter with what you have either.
Right. Yeah. So we could just assign this thing called a currency and have it represent something of value and bring that to town. And that's it's always been a coordination technology. And I think oil and everything that's going on in this world, I maybe I'm putting my tinfoil hat on, could be the third iteration of our currency.
Oil.
The big reset, like everything that's happening right now, That's kind of the, because while all of this is going on in the background, Kraken is the first crypto company to get access to the Fed's bank. So they actually have a Fed
Interesting.
payer account, and the digital dollar is something that's coming.
So we
I pray
could
it's
be, I mean, we're still early in this, kind of crypto digital dollar world.
we are.
I
We
mean,
are.
our agents are only going to deal in crypto. They're not going to deal in, USD. They're going to take, Tether and things like that. So it's like, man, we are only a couple years away from having tens of millions or billions of agents trading and doing stuff for us. I mean, why
It's
would I
gonna be
go
pretty
log
cool.
on to go book a trip or go do something if my agent's just going to do it for me and then just take the tether and pay for it? It seems, I
Yeah.
mean, save your time.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of people, and I kind of subscribe to this, that believe the future of like the future user of crypto is AI. It's not humans. Even now, like when you use it
Right.
as a human, it is intense. I'm an expert. I do this all the time, but I'm still more worried about sending tokens to a wallet than I am sending a wire, because there's so many different ways for someone to
Can get intercepted.
try to, for example, it's not really intercepted. It's like this. You only see the first four and the last four of the wallet address. It's 128 characters, right? So there's a wallet poison attack that basically on the interface they make you think it's your wallet, but it's really their wallet because they have a few letters in the middle different. So you'd have to like
Uh,
verify that it's the exact wallet address, right? And that's called a wallet
so
poison
what's the
attack.
technique for that? You send a tiny amount. You send one Satoshi before you send a full Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah,
Kind
absolutely.
of like a
You
test
do a
wire. I mean,
test.
back when I was doing, if I'm going to send someone $100,000 for their Mac a lot, I mean, I'm going to send them a
Yeah,
$10 wire first to make sure like it hits. Then the second one's going to go
that's right.
fast and make sure it clears.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I do it. Yep. I
Okay.
mean, I'll do the smallest unit and I'll pay the extra gas to send it just to make sure that it arrives, and I'll wait
Okay.
and I'll be patient. That's 100% how you do
Interesting.
that. But a computer doing the same thing would be able to know if it's the correct address in like
It
nanoseconds,
would do a quick
right?
test
I
of
mean,
1 cent worth and then just be like, all right, good, proceed.
or just read it. It could just read 128
Oh,
characters
got it, got it,
like
got it.
super fast. They would be able to see if there's a match or not, like instantly. Here's the intended wallet.
Okay.
Is this the actual wallet? Done. And then they can swap networks, wallets. I mean, they can do all the things that humans have to do way faster. And they can work inside of the confines of a blockchain way more efficiently than a human can.
Nice.
Like, go query the whole public ledger
Yeah.
of Bitcoin. I'll wait.
It'll take a while.
Versus an AI every 10 minutes knows every single block confirmation, where it
It can
happened,
just
every
keep it
IP
all in
address.
its database if it has enough memory.
Yeah,
Dude,
and it
memory
can
is going to
interpolate,
matter
come to
so much
conclusions.
right now. The memory market went absolutely, wild in this last year. I mean, a lot of these stocks, Micron, SanDisk, they're up a couple 100%. It's absolutely wild. But the memory
Wow.
market is probably honestly only going to get hotter. The demand for the AI memory is just through the roof. Which leads me to
Makes
Apple's
sense.
latest launch. They just came out with a new computer called the MacBook Neo, and it's priced so competitively, it's almost hard to believe.
Before we get into the next topic, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. We bring content to you week over week from the market at Bullish and beyond.
Hit that subscribe button now. The starting
Yeah.
price is $599 and $499 for the education market. So this, is going to hit really hard at the kind of Chromebook market that Google and Microsoft controls. And it's also just a
Yeah.
decent entry level computer for anyone wanting to get into the Apple ecosystem. I mean, there's no way to run Mac OS at this price point before, with unless you had like a monitor separately, because they did technically sell a Mac Mini, which might have been the best deal ever. That you can get an M4 Mac Mini for $599. Very small product. I actually just got one in today that we're going to set up with OpenClaw here soon. So I'll report back on that. It's going to be very exciting. But the fact that this is a fully aluminum unibody design, just like a higher end Mac, they did a couple small downgrades, like they had no backlit keyboard and some different like gesture touchpad and stuff like that. But for the most part, things that people don't really need. So this is it's between like a M1, M2 type speed, which frankly is very fast and meets almost everyone's needs for email and Safari and just, music. Like, you're not going to buy this computer if you're a top, YouTuber and you're doing, 4K editing. That's not what this is for. But for everyone else, like, totally fine. It's incredible. And that price point, I mean, $500 for a student is insane. So first, what's going to happen? We're going to grow the Mac ecosystem by, millions of units a year. The refresh rate for these, larger schools, it's down every like 3 to 5 years. So it's not going to have like an immediate hit to Apple's bottom line on like a, million unit refresh out of like the LA school district or something like that. But over the next few years, I think a lot of companies and schools are going to be looking to deploy these. It's just too cheap. I mean, the average worker or student, this just it's good enough. So I think this is going to be just absolutely massive. And it's going to have a lot of consequences to the market. People are almost confused how they hit that price point. This is going back to the memory thing I was saying, is that they control their pricing so much because they own that memory supply chain. They make their own chips. They're buying so much that they have to get the best pricing in the world on these components. So they're just beating other people to the table. Go Mac.
Yeah, I mean, go Mac. Yeah, that's the
people can't see. I'm wearing the cool T-shirt that says the Mac from way back. I got this old retro throwback Mac on here. It's pretty sweet.
Your Apple garb is top notch. Honestly, you should enter a competition.
Did you see any other Apple's announcements last week?
No, dude, you live in that universe. I'm impressed. I'm impressed at the price point for sure. I've never even thought of I mean, it's the same company that
people are shocked. I didn't think it was gonna be that cheap.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything they do is hundreds of dollars. I mean, everything, even the little, whatever you call them, the little earplugs that go in there. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. The crazy price point. That is very reasonable.
The AirPods is their third biggest division in the whole company. They're like $35 billion run rate right now.
It's insane. It's insane. I mean, they're really, they're smart though. This is one of my qualms with Apple, but it's genius. It's like I respect it, but I hate it.
Yeah.
They got rid of the aux input. They got rid of it. Right?
Yeah, no plugins.
So you had to have Bluetooth headphones.
On every single device besides a MacBook Pro and a MacBook Air.
That's right. Unless you buy another thing called a dongle. And I'm just sitting here thinking
$30 adapter if you want to plug it in some other port, yeah.
Yeah, hey, like it's almost, I don't even know what a good example of it would be, but I mean they bully their customers. I mean, I feel like that's bullying. It's smart business.
Kindly bully them though. It's not overt bullying.
Yeah. It's only overt bullying to someone like me, where I can see right through it, but it's like it's genius though. It is. And I don't think they miss. I mean, what's a device they miss on? Comparing to this Neo, like maybe the Vision Pro. I feel like that was a miss.
That's let people down, but that honestly is an experiment to make sure they can, do real world AR, VR for the future glasses. Sometimes they get products out there that are not maybe seen to the market as game changer. I have a pair. They're absolutely nuts. It's the best video viewing experience known to man. I would rather do that than go see an IMAX. It is so immersive. When you take it off, it's like you just re-entered the world. Like it is so nuts compared to watching a normal movie. It blocks out 100% of all sound and all light besides what you're seeing. I mean, my favorite way to do it is to watch a video overlooking the Japanese mountains. I'm sitting on the edge of a cliff with cool mountain air rolling up, looking at a 100-foot screen floating in the clouds. Like you can't even compare this experience on any other device.
I'm honestly going to have to try that next time I come down to Florida.
There you go. I'll throw you in guest mode. So here's what else Apple has going on. They just launched a bunch of other products too. They have the new low end 17e iPhone, So this uses a slightly binned version of the chip. It's like one less core in the GPU. So, most people's use cases, it's imperceptible, but they hit a much lower price point. It's only $599 as well. So a great entry mode for that. And the used market for Apple is over 50% of the used iPhones in the world. So there's just huge demand for these lower priced iPhones that people, can't afford the brand new ones. So this is a great price point for a lot of countries and, the US as well. It's an awesome phone.
A $600 phone's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, especially from Apple.
I agree. The next thing is the MacBook Pro. They came out with the new M5 and M5 Pro Max chip. And the thing is here, they also increased the price point by $100, but they give you double the hard drive space. So now they have a higher average selling point. And the chip is only about 15% faster, but the real game changer is the AI workflows that they're saying are 400 to 800% faster. So if you're running a large language model on your laptop locally, there's no better laptop to do it. You can get an insane amount of onboard shared RAM, and that computer you're going to be humming along. So pretty sweet there.
That's impressive. I was listening to one of the I'm going to forget his name. He was on the Sean Ryan show talking about AGI. He just talked about a 400 to 800% increase in
1 year.
A year? Yeah, a year. Yeah, it's going to get. That guy thinks it's here by 2027. He's thinking Q3 of 27. We're going to have AGI.
A lot of smart people are saying that.
Yeah, so potentially in 15 months, we're going to have this concept of artificial general intelligence. And when that happens, I feel like a majority of the white collar jobs, it's going to just disappear, I would think. I don't know.
I mean, Block CEO just fired 40% of people 2 weeks ago. That exact same talk track. He just said the jobs aren't relevant anymore. The AI is running it, and that's today, not 2027.
Yeah,
he might be ahead of the curve there.
He might be. He very well could be. I still think you're going
There's
to
so many ways people can make money, though. I think that I see people posting all the time, like, "Oh, I'm going to lose my job in the future" and all this stuff. Well, then upskill now. Why wait till you lose your job? Buy an Apple computer, install OpenClaw, figure out how it can make money for you. If you go on YouTube, there's literally people showing you that they just taught their AI how to make money for them, and then went off and did it. I mean, there's one guy that in a few weeks' time, he had over $100,000 in his crypto wallet, and he only gave his AI $1,000 to start off with. So he didn't even do anything, frankly. he programmed his AI, so that wasn't an overnight necessarily, but that is the future of how do you go? I mean, whether it's investing smartly, finding the right crypto pick next. If I had my AI, trading, crazy volatile, crypto coins, well, what if it made $1,000 every single day? That's not even wild.
Yeah, very specifically, I followed. It wasn't that guy, but a gentleman did the same thing. He got almost $500,000. He sent out. He called them turtles. Like a mama sea turtle just births all these turtles, and only 10% make it to the ocean, right?
Yeah.
So he made 12 agents, all with the same primitive, okay? All running on their own thing. This guy has a lot of money, so he just threw it against the wall. And he gave them all, I think it was $2,500, and he said, "Look, this is your lifeline. You have to, every decision you make needs to at least pay for your inference, or you will die. I will not give you more money. You will be shut down. You need to go pay for your existence. Not make me money. For you to live, you need to be able to afford your inference and your tokens."
If you made it?
All of them made it. All
There
of
you
them.
go.
Different ways, too. Different way. He was
so interesting.
And people on Twitter follow him and his wallets, and he would wake up to people commenting about the trades he was making and being like, "I'm not doing it. That's not me. I didn't do that.
It's my AI.
Yeah. Yeah. Something what does he know?" And he's literally nothing. My robot thinks something, but I know nothing. Yeah. And he just let it run.
Wow.
So, I mean, you're absolutely right. now's the time
It's going to make
because
us a little bit
if you
dumber when our
really,
robot does everything.
oh, we're going to be, yeah. I mean, we'll be drooling monkeys with headsets on, you know.
Well, I
I
love
mean,
learning, so
I'm already,
I'm never going to stop. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm learning. I just talked to some guy about his trading algo last week. I'm going to dive in and learn more about that. I'd be happy to share about that in the show. I think algo trading could be a big part of the future, especially with these AIs, taking over here. So yeah, it's all about just finding ways to make money. Just do it now.
100%. I mean, if you figure it out, I know a guy locally that did it, automated some social media clients, and now he's charging 5 grand to set up an agent. Like, you could figure it out, or you could just call him and he'll do
Yeah,
everything, give him the hardware, and then now he has a business that he's building for AI because he's automating his main core business with AI. So it's like now's the time. He'll be okay when this all happens, and
exactly. We definitely have this
it's
like
going to be
year. If you're talking
interesting.
about 2027 being like this kind of pivotal AGI period, well, hey, we got, 16 months left to, figure it out type thing. So, I mean, yeah, dive in and learn. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, that's a great first step. Clearly, you appreciate learning. You want to hear about, you know, my stock advice, JT's crypto thoughts, and, a little bit about life. This is a life moment. Take your life into your own hands because you can. And now is the time. There is no better time to learn. Learning is basically free. The AI can teach you for free. I mean, your $20 ChatGPT account could teach you for hours a day. Like, there is no professor that's willing to work for 66 cents a day.
Right. Yeah. No,
It's
no shot.
insane.
100%. Yeah, and you don't have to ask for permission either. Like
No.
you just go out and figure it out,
The AIs aren't going
You
to ask
never
before
know
they
what
take your
can break
job.
loose.
So,
No. No. You're just going to get an email on Monday to show up at HR on Friday. That's what's going to happen.
that's what I like about
And that's it.
entrepreneurs, that we don't ask for permission. I realize that we just think completely differently. I had dinner with one of my really friendly entrepreneur buddies, Adam Kohler, the other night. Who
Oh,
you might know
nice,
from
dude.
Cincinnati, yeah. And
Love
this
Adam.
this is a really cool entrepreneur tip that I hadn't even thought about. So let me just throw it out there. Is that when you have a podcast or a following on social media, you can apply to these conferences to get a media ticket. So, for
Ooh,
instance, this very high level fintech conference going on in South Beach this week, which maybe you should be at, JT. I'm going to call you out there. You should be down in Florida with me. Um, yeah, he just applied, and hey, I'm a podcast host, and he actually has a paper now in his business called the
yep,
Content Credits and stuff like that. So he's got some stuff going
yep.
on in the media industry. So it's totally legitimate. But the fact that you can apply and the tickets are going for 4 grand, and him and his wife both got a free
Dude.
ticket, and he showed it to me, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you apply?" So actually, I did submit a ticket last night to their system to try to get one. I haven't got approved
Yeah.
yet. I haven't got a no yet either. And I said, "Hey, I'm a co-host of this podcast, Bullish and Beyond, and we're crushing it out there. And I got a LinkedIn following of the top 200 in the entire world. I got 210,000." So, that's something I don't have a media company, but the fact that we have the podcast and I got my LinkedIn company, I think that's probably good enough. And I hadn't thought about that. So just thinking a little bit more outside the box. How do you apply what you already have, and what do you know to get more ahead? Like, the connections you can make at that conference could be absolutely life changing versus not going at all and avoiding the $4,000 ticket if you couldn't get in for free.
Yeah. It's a different worldview, you know. I think at the core of it, it's a lack of trust in the system. Like for me, I don't know if that's. I definitely think for Adam, me and Adam go back. I met Adam the same time you met Adam.
Yeah.
Like we go back, and I
Non-system
feel like
trusters.
yeah, yeah. Like you tell me something, I'm immediately thinking,
You're not waiting for the government handouts over here, guys. Like, no, we are taking action. We're gonna
yeah.
railroad it through. We're not gonna wait for anyone's permission. Absolutely not.
And you got to be bullish for that attitude. You got to be an optimist. You got to think that it's all going to work out. A little bit of faith, whatever it is. If it's creating an open claw business or doing that side hustle and going all in these next 16 months, like figure something out. Because I feel like we're gonna be through some rough periods. I think it'll curtail into this insane explosive growth, probably similar to the Industrial Revolution.
I feel the same way. There is a small downturn, and there is a leap forward to bring more productivity and wealth to the world that we have almost can't even imagine.
Yeah. It's going to be an exciting time, and we're going to be
so
tracking
cool.
it all for you guys here.
And I'll have open call, live before we know it. Maybe I can teach some open call classes to people here. So if anyone wants to know, hit me up. I'll help you get your open call.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps, and neither should your ambition.
But the future is exciting.
Whether
The
it's
world
stocks,
is a little bit crazy
crypto,
right now.
or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay
issues.
bullish,
War,
and keep charging
keep your
forward.
Head up.
Keep your
bullish.
energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host,
all right, tune
Brian
in for
the
more.
MacMan,
Subscribe.
and
Cheers.
JT Knows Things, signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.